Menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle begins when a girl reaches the age of puberty. It is the reproductive cycle that produces eggs for fertilization. During the menstrual cycle, the uterus, endometrium, prepares itself for implantation of a fertilized egg. If this does not occur, the uterus lining is shed from the body. This is known as menstruation or a period. The menstrual cycle in women is a recurring process in which the lining of the uterus is prepared for pregnancy, and if pregnancy does not happen, the lining is shed at menstruation. The cycle lasts about 28 days. Menstruation begins around the age of 13 and stops at menopause around the age of 50. Menstrual cycle is the preparing of uterus for a possible pregnancy. The menstrual cycle is carefully regulated by several hormones: luteinizing hormone (LH), follicle stimulating hormone (FSH), and the female sex hormones estrogen and progesterone. The cycle can be divided into 3 phases: follicular, before the egg is released; ovulatory, egg is released; and luteal, after release of the egg. Follicular phase. During this phase, ovarian follicles are stimulated to grow, and one of the follicles will emerge as dominant and eventually be released by the ovum. The point of release is the point at which the luteal phase begins. During the follicular phase, under the stimulation of FSH, up to 20 primary follicles are stimulated to grow. They become secondary follicles. They are essentially in a race to become the next ovum. As they grow, the number of follicular cells increases rapidly, and the follicular cells differentiate to become granulosa cells. By day 5 of the cycle, one of the follicles emerges as the dominant follicle, the Graafian or tertiary follicle. During days 6 to 14, this follicle grows rapidly in response to FSH. During this time, it will release estrogen, which will act as a positive feedback loop by stimulating the production of more GnRH, as well as accounting for secondary sex characteristics and having important effects on muscle and bone metabolism. This continues meiosis as far as metaphase 2, which is not completed until fertilization. Then, the oocyte is released from the ovum and into the fallopian tube. This is the start of the luteal phase. Ovulatory phase. This last phase lasts not more than 3 days. Ovary ruptures and the mature ovum is released. This mature egg enters the oviduct. This stage is initiated by the increase of LH level. Luteal phase. In the luteal phase, progesterone is the main hormone. After ovulation, the follicle gives rise to a new structure, the corpus luteum, which synthesizes progesterone and estrogen. The corpus luteum has two functions. 1. Provide hormonal stimulus for target organs, and 2. Regulate the menstrual cycle. Progesterone depletes local estrogen receptors and acts synergistically with estrogen to inhibit gonadotrophin secretion by negative feedback. Both hormones cause uterine endometrial proliferation in preparation for implantation. The corpus luteum declines rapidly 9 to 11 days post-ovulation if fertilization does not occur. Progesterone secretion and inhibin levels fall, so the endometrium is shed in menstruation. This allows increased GnRH and FSH secretion in preparation for the next cycle.